if we don't, it's a problem because we can't live. What are we doing here? I don't mean an OU for you, eating food, falafel, I know what that is. But why are we in this world at all? Why do we exist? To do what? To reproduce. So if we have more and more people. It's kind of a circle. It's very Hinduish, right? What were you saying? Sorry.
What esoteric answer would be to fulfill God's commandments, to help other people?
Very good answers. Okay, so to fulfill God's commandments, help other people. What do you think about that idea? Very noble. I think it's very noble. But I have a problem with that. And here's my two problems with that. And I think it's a good answer. It may even be the right answer, but I'm just gonna play around with it first. If it's to do God's commandments, the problem is God doesn't need me to do His commandments, right? He's doing pretty good on His own, right? He doesn't need my help. I gotta create you because Karmi, you gotta help me out here. That doesn't need help. What does he need my commandment? What does that do for God? That's problem one. And problem two is to help people. I have a really good idea, if I was God. Make it that everyone's doing really great and no one needs any help. Everyone's just doing great, you know? Everyone's feeling great, doing great. And then, so the whole circle is God creates people who have problems, who need help, but then don't create them in the first place with problems. Right? Everybody have a problem here? It's like a circle. I don't get the point of life. And we're going to try to answer it in like 30 seconds. It's amazing.
I think you're getting at the difference between helping people and bringing God to establish His world.
Okay.
And I want to say that the world is like a small God cat jumping all around. Because I don't really know why, and I guess that we're never going to know why.
Well, we're going to try to see if we can get it tonight. Because you're saying the second step, but sometimes people miss the first step. Why did He do it in the first place? Why did God do it? So let me tell you what the sages tell us. It's an amazing thing. It's amazing. The whole purpose of life in one sentence. Is that great? Is it worth the come here? It's better than the falafel. It's unbelievable. The whole purpose of life in one sentence, but on one condition I say it to you. After I say it, you have to say to me, Rabbi, that's the most ridiculous thing I ever heard in my life. Okay? You gotta throw something at me and the falafel ball is left there. You gotta say, that's ridiculous, it can't be! Okay? Think about why it doesn't make so much sense. But here's what sages tell us. Sages tell us as follows. They say, the reason why God created this whole world and created people is what it says. Because He wanted to give us the maximum pleasure. The ultimate pleasure. Okay, all right. All right, so why is it ridiculous, Becky? Let me hear.
Oh my goodness.
Where do I start? It's so ridiculous, Rabbi.
So much hardship.
That's right. That's right. If God wanted to go and to create a world where I used to give me ultimate pleasure, I wouldn't do it like this. I'd imagine it in a different way, right? It would be a whole different story. I would imagine a different world. Here's an example once to Billy and Rachel, but here's the same thing we mentioned this point once. If I was imagining it, I happen to like ice cream. Don't you like ice cream? So what I would do is, I would create a child. When a child's born, he is born with the taste of vanilla ice cream on his tongue. Always tasting. And he'll say that he'll get tired of it. I got a solution. At age 2, he moves on to chocolate. At 3, he's on to strawberry. By 15, he's at Rocky Road. I mean, you know, if Baskin Robbins has 31 flavors, then God gave you infinite flavors. Right? What would you imagine if God wanted to give you ultimate pleasure? Right? Well, listen to the Matrix here. That's what the Matrix, right? Imagine God could create a world where you're just inundated 24/7 with pleasure. If that was the goal, why didn't he just do that? Garden of Eden. Good point. It's a good point. I think my class is done now. It's a good point. But I don't think the Garden of Eden was exactly that. Because something still went wrong. Something went haywire there. They had to accomplish something also. But you're saying a very good point. The Garden of Eden was a different reality. It's a very good point. He said, what about the Garden of Eden? He said that God did make it that way. It's partially true, but it's not fully true because something had to be done still, and that's why it went haywire. They really wanted to finish what they had to do. Yeah.
I was going to say, there's no satisfaction, there's no personal gain or growth or pleasure because Jesus gives you, you wouldn't know the difference between having and not having.
Okay, let's try to understand this. Let's try to say this very, very important point. Beautiful. Try to understand this. This is to show what the Shmuel, it tells us the following. The Shmuel says the following idea. It says, before people were created, the souls of all people were in front of God. And they got tremendous pleasure there experiencing God. They had a tremendous state of pleasure. Wow. Experiencing eternal. He says, but they had one problem. They had something called Nahama Diksufa. Nice word, huh? Nahama, say it 10 times fast. Nahama Diksufa. It's an Aramaic word. It means bread of shame. Why? Because God created us out of nothing and He's giving us pleasure. But what do we do to get this? Nothing. We're like leeches. We're getting. We didn't do anything to earn it. For that reason, God had to put us into this world. Okay? Let me give you an example here. Which we use for our example. Adam, how would you like $10 million?
Nothing like that.
Are you sure? You want to think about it?
I'm thinking a lot of good things that happen.
Okay. So Adam, we give Adam $10 million, and what happens? Adam becomes, what does he go? He spends it all. No, he's a little smarter than that, but he becomes everyone's favorite person. Right? Everyone loves Adam. Then we have Adam dolls, and there's Adam flags, and there's Adam songs, Adam stickers, Adam buttons. And one day we want to go, and people want to honor Adam for just being Adam. We love you, Adam. So imagine now there's a big hall, Adam, with 10,000 people all there to honor you because you're Adam. They call you to the center and they say, ladies and gentlemen, here he is, the one and only amazing Adam. Comes up in front, and then me, the person who gave him all of this money, all of this fame, I walk in the room and I say, wait, hey, remember me? What happens to your feeling of, because at that moment, you realize that this great thing that you have, this pleasure you have, is not yours. Someone else gave it to you. You're a leech. I don't mean you personally.